Well, hello. I am excited to be here. For those of you either listening or watching live, welcome. And as I shared with you, I want to just answer three of the top organizing questions I have received over the years. So, question number one is, how do I get started? And I always tell people to take a paper, a pen, your tablet, whatever device you use, and just go from room to room and decide what needs to be organized. For example, by the front door, it might be the shoes or it might be the kids' backpacks. You go into the living room, it might be all of the accessories to all the devices that we have, or it could be just the remotes. Or, of course, you go into possibly the bedroom. It might be the bed, it might be the dresser, it might be the night tables, the kitchen, it might just be the cabinets, the pantry, the bathroom, the countertops. And I could go on and on and on. And of course, it could be the garage, just not being able to park the car in there. So I would suggest that you just really go from room to room and space to space. Once you do that, the next thing you do is you need to prioritize what's important. Maybe you have not been sleeping good at all. Tackle that bedroom first. Maybe you're frustrated because you spend too much time in front of the closet trying to figure out what to wear, and that may cause you to be late for a function for work. Focus on that area. So once you kind of do an assessment of your home, then the next thing you want to do is you just want to go from decide what space is a priority for you. Then the next thing is you want to, schedule time to actually work on the project. But not only schedule time, a lot of times schedule time, but also give yourself a deadline as well. So maybe that junk room or that catch-all room is actually, you want it to be a space because maybe later in the year you're going to have family and friends come over. So that way you give yourself a timeline and you can plan accordingly. So once you already have your date planned and you know your end date, your start date, the first thing I'm going to suggest for you to do is to purge. Purge before you purchase because 80% of the stuff we keep, we never reference again. And we wear 20% of our clothes 80% of the time. So purge. Get rid of what you don't need. And by purging, I mean, number one, get rid of the trash. Get rid of the things that need to be recycled. The next thing you really want to do you want to donate, give away, or sell something? So once you kind of cover those categories, you have left what you need to organize. Then if you choose, you can go out and buy what you need. So I want you to do that. And then, of course, with that, you just kind of schedule maybe an hour, maybe a couple hours just to kind of work on the project until you get it done. And once you are organized, then you schedule some maintenance in. One of the things I've been sharing with people is I am disciplining myself in the year 2023 is to put stuff back. Because we all have the habit where you come home, you may drop stuff here, you may put something there, and you move on to the next thing and you just start doing something else. I put things away. If I touch up my nails, I put the nail polish away. If I use the scissors, I put the scissors away. When I come home, of course, I make sure I put my groceries away. But then the next step is putting the bags away because what that does is, in the long run, it's going to save you time. And also, it is going to reduce the amount of things that create clutter in your home. So that's the answer to question number one. How do I not get overwhelmed? Of course, don't try to do everything at once. As I shared, there are spaces in your home and in your life that you need to get organized. So, because at the time of this recording, it is really the beginning of February, but we are already in the tax season. And you've got paperwork coming at you from all different directions. How not to get overwhelmed, of course, is just making sure you focus on one specific thing. And maybe that's something you can focus on. I'm going to focus and make sure not only are this year's tax information and documents organized, but you know what? I'm going to get a jump start on the next year. And that could be something simple as either having a folder to put all the information in. I've seen people, one gentleman, he just had a box where he put all his receipts in, whatever works for you. But also think about, using some of the devices we have. We've got the wonderful scanners. Our smartphones can scan things. But also, this is a great time to have a conversation with the person that does your taxes and says, hey, when can I start getting rid of stuff? Because one of the things I do each and every year, and I truly, truly love and appreciate the person that manages my taxes and things like that, is I will text her and say, okay, what year can I get rid of? Because sometimes you just need to ask people. You don't need to have to keep all that information. And she lets me know you can get rid of this, make sure this is scanned, because that's one of the things I'm doing. But to not get overwhelmed is just do a little bit each time. Just do an hour here, a couple of hours there, because if you spend an hour each week getting organized, by the end of the year, there's 52 hours of focused organizing on a project. Also, to not get overwhelmed, do one thing. Schedule time to do one drawer. Schedule time to do just one box. Schedule time to do one tote bag that you haven't touched in a while. So think about doing things like that. But that's how you not get overwhelmed. And I know you can get distracted by all the stuff that you see and you feel you need to do. And a lot of you may have already heard this, but in 2022, the last quarter, October, November, December, I focused on my stuff. On October, it was the living room and my home office, because that's one big room. And therefore, I just focused on that area. I had my list of everything I needed to do. Each weekend, I spent time working on that so that I did not lose focus. And even though there were things that I found, I'm like, oh, you belong here and you belong there, I did not touch them until I went into that space. Then November, it was my bedroom and my bathroom. And then December, by the time I got to the kitchen and the dining room area, it looked like a hot mess. But I made sure I stayed focused and I didn't get distracted. I didn't go back because what that does, it helps you complete the project. So hopefully that answers that question. And the last question, how do I better manage my time? Because you feel like you've got so much going on and so much to do. And you probably have heard this response from me already, but plan. Take 15 minutes at every day and plan for your next day. Plan what you're going to wear. Even if you work from home, I've been working from home basically 90% of the time now, which I love. But I always still plan what I'm going to wear, even down to my little crazy socks, because that's my little thing. I plan. I already know when I walk into my workspace that I already know what I'm going to be doing the next day, or that specific day, I should say. And also, I do meal prep. So it's a lot of planning. So when you are taking that 15 minutes, or even you can break it up, you can do a few minutes at the end of your workday and then a few minutes before you hit the bed, and just plan your next day. At the end of your workday, be strategic about what you can actually do the next day, because, we all have the digital calendars. People have access to our calendars. And before you know it, you realize there are meetings in there that you had not necessarily thought about when you planned your week, but you have to prep and plan for those meetings. So therefore, how do you need to strategically change all the things you're going to be working on the next day? And again, before you go to bed, just making sure, what am I going to wear? What do I need to take out of the house with me? Do I need a tote bag? Do I need a handbag? What do I need there? Where are my keys? Making sure your shoes match. What kind of outfit I want to wear. And of course, if you cook, what's going to be on the menu for tomorrow. But then they're finding that if we spend an hour in planning, it will save us at least 3 to 4 hours in execution. And for that, plan your week. Take out your schedule, your calendars, your planners, and just sit down and just really plan that next week of when you are actually going to You already know your work schedule. So when are you going to do laundry? When are you going to do grocery shopping? And grocery shopping looks different for everyone. Sometimes people like me still go to the grocery store, but sometimes you can just put your order online and pick it up or even have it delivered. When are you going to do cleaning? And also, what other things? Do the kids have projects? Do you need to pick up supplies for that? Are you going to school? Do you need to study or work on a project of your own? So that's how you're strategic. And then also, when is that family time, that you time, that me time going to be scheduled in? So hopefully me sitting here answering those questions. And if you have more, please feel free to send them in because I would love to answer your questions. And of course, I would love to answer them live. So I hope this has helped you on your journey to living that organized life.